On the first day of our trip, we saw what might have been the clearest, most beautiful sunset of our lives at Lake Tariu. But the funniest thing is, on our way back to the hotel, we ran into a big problem. Since we were leading the way, we ended up getting stuck in a salt marsh while trying to scour the road ahead. That's when I realized we had somehow taken a different road from our friend's car. I got out, struggling through the swamp, and tried to figure out how far apart we were. With no phone signal, the only way we could communicate was through the walkie-talkies, and I was worried they might accidentally drive into the marsh as well. So, ignoring the nasty cold and wet mud, I walked over to guide them toward our car. Luckily, one of our friends has bought a tow strap and hook just the day before, strong enough to handle up to like 10 tons. In no time, everyone just jumped into action without even needing to talk it through. Some set up lights to brighten the scene, some started filming the rescue, and others gave directions to the drivers, and a few started digging mud to put the recovery board in place. After the tow strap was hooked up, the first try did not work. My car didn't move. This is because the weight of the car and the suction from the mud made it almost impossible to move. On the second try, the towing car gave it everything it had, speeding up, and finally we put my car out. By the end of it, we were all covered in sticky mud from head to toe, but no one cared about that. We all hugged and cheered like we just made it through a real adventure. Everything went super smoothly. In the following days of our trip, we drove through the endless red dirt, laughing and kicking up massive clouds of dust behind us. We watched fairy sunset on Mars-like sand dunes, gazed at the same stars over ancient aboriginal sites that have been there for thousands of years, and came across tons of wildlife on the dry lake beds. Now, as our short outback adventure is coming up to an end, it's funny to think that the six of us who didn't know each other at all at first became such close friends in just 4 days, chatting like we know each other forever. I guess that one of the meanings behind this trip, getting out into the wild, feeling nature, and leaving behind the city life and our phones. In such a harsh environment, you really see people's true selves. Years from now, when I look back on this journey, the scenery might fade in my memory, but the way we helped each other out will always stick with me.